Oh, well, it was a great win. Round two of the tournament. I'm happy that we found a way tonight. It was another good crowd, fun atmosphere on a Monday night, considering the Seahawks and Niners are playing. But I was proud of our grit and determination to win this game. Pacific's a great team. They're a veteran team. They have obviously a fantastic post, and when you play teams that tend to be mid-major, a lot of times you have a non-traditional team that you're facing. And, to see a 5'10", 5'11", however tall McDavid is, post, that's unusual. Our practices look much different than that. And so a matchup for our freshman on the inside was a tough one tonight. She took full advantage, and really made us pay. It was a great learning experience, though, and that's what the preseason's all about. And so for our team to get in foul trouble, where our rotation's already, strange without Kat and Taya, that just added to it. And so I thought as the game went on, we found opportunities to continue to execute. It wasn't probably our best effort. I think everybody would admit to that. But I think Pacific had a lot to do with it. I was really impressed with their defensive intensity, the way they impacted possessions, and then they clearly had a strong focus on where they wanted to go with the ball and how they executed. And so it's a good basketball game. It was a tough one. We worked hard tonight, and I was pleased that we found a way to win.
Scott, does a game like this, the easy ones are fun, obviously, but does this toughen you guys up down the stretch, the games you kind of need?
Yeah, it certainly will. Yeah, it certainly will, and you hope that for that in the preseason. I looked at our side of this bracket, and you've got Irvine, who is picked to win their conference, and then you've got Pacific, who's picked third behind Gonzaga and BYU, who are NCAA tournament teams every year. So in a way, they're poised to have their best year in a long time, a veteran team. And then you look at the only other ranked team in the tournament is DePaul, other than us coming in here Thursday night now. And so we knew that we were actually, one of the questions I had from a fan coming off the floor is, how did we get the 2 seed? And that's a good question, actually, being that we're by far the highest ranked team in the tournament. But I don't know how the WNIT does it. All I know is we're going to be tested, from it. And these two teams that we've played already are going to win a lot of games. We know DePaul's going to win a lot of games. And so in each one of them, we're learning a lot about ourselves, and especially, with a group that has veteran guards, but we're really young inside. All these lessons are pivotal for us moving forward, and we've got great game film. You add the USA game to that, we've got some incredible lessons over the last week alone, to grow from. So I thought you saw the toughness in our team come out down the stretch. We got the stops we needed. I thought you felt the atmosphere in Gill. That fourth quarter in this building's special, and they've seen so many great things, and we expect great things, and that's what happened again tonight.
Well, yeah, you guys were in a battle, and yeah, you think you hit that corner 3 to put you guys up double figures.
Thank you.
I know there was still a lot of time left, but did I kind of just feel like finally we got something to go down, finally we're past the double-digit mark, and maybe we're going to put these guys away finally? I know they kept coming, but it seemed like that was kind of the shot that put you guys over the top.
Yeah, we were in a little bit of a funk on offense. I mean, we were getting some shots, but it was kind of, we would make a shot, they would hit a shot. So it was kind of back and forth a little bit. So I think that shot definitely gave us a little bit of confidence, and we knew going back we had to get a stop, and I'm not sure if we did it, but we kept that kind of same lead. So, yeah, that shot gave us a little bit of comfort, but you can never really relax against those teams.
Big, with Taylor picking up a couple of fouls early, you guys had played a lot with her in the post for a lot of times. How much does that kind of change what you guys tried to do or were able to kind of do? Because it just seemed like you guys were just off just a little bit. Maybe was that part of the reason why?
I think anytime you have new rotations in there that maybe you don't practice with as often, it throws you off a little bit. But we just never got into a flow offensively about the whole day. So we'll look at the film and we'll be ready to adjust and be ready to go against DePaul.
Scott, Michaela at 18 and 17, and she was probably 10 floor burns tonight, maybe. It seemed like she was everywhere tonight. I mean, that's just the kind of thing you see from her all the time, I assume. But
Yeah.
She had a big impact.
She did, and we needed it tonight, and that's the thing about Mick, is she tends to be whatever the team needs in whatever the moment is. And tonight, it was not one of our better rebounding games. We were undisciplined boxing out. We were undisciplined in our effort attacking the ball, 1 through 5 on the floor. And so that's what we needed, and that's what she gave. I thought, give Pacific a lot of credit. They beat us to a lot of 50-50 balls tonight. They out-scrapped us for those balls, and that's something we've got to get better at, and that's one of the keys I think we're going to see. And so when the team's lacking that, you know, Mick has a way of just elevating her game, just playing with massive heart, total sacrifice to bail us out, you know, and we saw it. So we've seen it so many times, I should say, over the years. Last year, we saw it so many times down the stretch of games, and we did it again, and she did it again tonight. And I know she's hating every second of me saying all these things about her because she knows that the team is also doing what they do, and she doesn't want to take all the credit. But that is her gift. She has a knack and an athleticism and a desire, you know, to make plays when the team needs them. And we were really fortunate that she did that again tonight for us, and there's not a bigger heart in our game.
I know it's just game number 2, Scott, but 23 turnovers today really kind of didn't allow you guys go. Is that a concerning thing? I know it's early, but is that something that you guys will take a look at here and try and look at, or was that a lot of what Pacific was able to do today?
Yeah,
too?
I mean, it felt concerning. My gosh, I mean, we had 15 at halftime, and you know, Aaliyah throws the ball off the bottom of the backboard on an inbounds play, and I'm like, well, that sums it up. That's what I said, you know, and obviously that's not what she does. It's the first time I've ever seen her do that. But it kind of summed up the night. It was a very strange, it was a strange game, you know, and we had just a few, you have a couple people off their game, it messes with you, you know, and as we're growing as a team early in the season, you learn to play through this stuff, and then how do we get back on our game and feel what's our comfort zone and get back in it. And so turnovers, just like I said, you give Pacific credit. I mean, they did a great job defensively. At the same time, we didn't see the floor very clearly, and it was interesting. The times that we did, it looked easy. We got such good looks because we were able to manipulate their defense, draw a couple defenders, and then make the easy play. And it was hard for us to see the easy play tonight, you know, and I think looking back at film, we're going to find that there were a lot of missed opportunities where we were maybe trying too hard, to be honest. And that's who this team is. I mean, they play with so much heart, so much effort as a group. Sometimes I think you can try too hard, and it's kind of how it felt tonight.
Aaliyah, I think Michaela's been a leadership personality even when she was a freshman. She has that personality, but especially now as a senior, can you talk about, I'm sure it'll embarrass her, but can you just talk about how much she inspires everybody around her, the way she plays?
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been a minute that I've looked at Mick and she hasn't been playing her hardest. She's one of those teammates that you know she's going to give it all. She's going to do what the team needs. I think Scott hit it on the head when he said she's that teammate that no matter how the game's going, she's what we need. And I remember there was a day in practice, and we do spotlights at the end of practice, and I just looked and I said, it's fun being Mick's teammate because Mick just does Mick things. She really does, and I think we saw that tonight. Just looking at the 17 rebounds, that's ridiculous as a guard, and that's Mick. That's just what she does. Like, I'm not even surprised because it's Mick. And just her leadership, just how she composed herself. She might not be as vocal. She's getting more vocal, but she's just like that leader you look at, and it's just like, hey, we got Mick on our team. We're gonna be all right. And that's kind of one of the things for us is she's someone that we can rely on, and I know we all love having her as a teammate.
For both Mick and Aaliyah, you guys get a ranked DePaul team coming in. I know rankings early on, it's hard to tell, but do you guys get does it change any for you guys? I mean, just knowing like, hey, we get to go and kind of maybe compare ourselves against a team that's supposed to be there. I know there's a whole lot there, but does that kind of just rise the excitement level a little bit at all?
Yeah, I think we need to be ready against whatever team we play, whether they're ranked or not, to play as hard as well as we can each game. But DePaul, we know they're a consistent tournament team. They have offensive scorers from all 5 positions. And to be able to win, we're going to have to execute a lot better than we did today.
Scott, how well do you know Doug? Because it's interesting. This feels like it should be like the championship game matchup, but as a semifinal matchup, it's 2 coaches who've really become iconic with their programs who also happen to both be their alma maters. And I'm just wondering how well over the years you've gotten to know him.
Yeah, I've gotten to spend some time with him. WBCA convention, you kind of get to know who Doug is because he's so ingrained in our game and in so many leadership positions, and certainly over the years, I believe he's probably held every position possible, and so such a giving person. We have been at some of the same, I don't know, we've hung out some away from the game too on a couple different coaching trips, and I love him. He just has so much passion for the game. He's a people person. He remembers every single thing about you when you see him. He'll ask me about my kids when I see. I mean, he's just one of those people, and clearly just a long legacy of nothing but success, and he's done everything the right way. And so I'm a huge admirer of him. We got to play him in the Sweet 16, our Final Four year, and that's when there's not many teams that coach offense the way they coach offense. I've never seen so many confident shooters, on it 1 through, not 5, 1 through 10, 12, however many players they have. And so we learned a lesson that night. That was the first time I told Ruth to go guard the three-point line, was playing against Doug's teams. And then he thought he did a great job on Jamie Wisner, who had 38. And so, he's just a great guy. And yeah, we do have that in common, which is really obviously a special place for both of us to be.
Scott, I came in a little late. I apologize if this was already asked, but you're going to get a team's best shot every game you play, and they certainly played you tough tonight. Does this ultimately really help the Beavers, though, to have games like this?
Yeah, we talked about that briefly, but that's okay. The preseason, you schedule veteran coaches, you schedule veteran teams, you schedule teams that are expected to do well in their own conferences. They come in with the expectation to beat us. They've got an opportunity to get a top 10 win. So you're going to get big-time performances, and I thought their defensive effort was elite tonight. I thought McDavid was as good. I mean, how do you do better than that? That's a big-time performance, and she just kept coming at us. They played with a great spirit tonight. So those experiences are only going to make us better. Every time we relax tonight, they hurt us. They turned us over more. Hopefully that's the most we ever have this year. This team, with the experience that we have handling the basketball, should never have that many turnovers, but give them credit. So we're seeing things for the first time as a collective group, and learning to play with young players. And these, our freshmen are thrown to the wolves. Janessa has played the wing. Now she's played the 4. I moved her to the 5 on one play tonight, and so we're just trying to figure it out as we are incomplete. Hopefully we have Kat back soon, Taya back soon. Our depth increases. We have more veterans on the floor, which is normal, when you're incorporating new players. So tonight is going to be very valuable for us moving forward. And like I mentioned, we're fortunate and happy to have survived it, which doesn't surprise me with the people I get to coach. I knew they'd find a way.